All right, let's dive into something a little weird, but absolutely fascinating. We're going to explore this idea that your reality, your entire experience of life, isn't actually shaped by your past. Nope, it's shaped by your brain's constant active predictions about your future. Have you ever noticed this? Or, maybe even felt it yourself? For so many of us, life just seems to be this whirlwind of new experiences, new people, new jobs. And then somewhere around age 25, it kind of plateaus. It's almost like the story gets written, and the rest of our life is just living out the script.
So that brings us to the big question, right? Why does this happen? It's definitely not because we run out of potential or opportunities. It's something way deeper, something happening inside our own nervous system. And hey, if you've ever felt stuck, you are about to find out exactly why.
So think of it like this. This is the core metaphor. After about age 25, your brain figures it's seen enough to lock in a pretty solid identity, a predictable you. And from that moment on, your nervous system basically acts like a bouncer at an exclusive club. It only lets in the thoughts, the behaviors, and even the opportunities that match the version of you on its list. Everything else, it gets turned away at the door. Okay, so let's get into it. Here's the plan. We'll start with that age 25 freeze. Then we'll look at the actual science of your brain's prediction engine. From there, we'll see how your identity is really just a forecast, we'll learn how to repattern that forecast, and we'll finish up by looking at your next prediction.
So how does this whole bouncer thing actually work? Well, it's not just a nice idea. It's really rooted in 3 foundational, totally undisputed facts from neuroscience that explain exactly why we get stuck.
Okay, so fact number 1, your brain is a prediction machine. Every single thing you experience, your emotions, your reactions, every decision, it's all filtered through what your brain expects to happen next. 2, your identity isn't some solid, fixed truth. It's a forecast. It's just your brain's best guess about the you who's going to exist in the next moment. And 3, your brain doesn't experience time like a clock. And that little detail, well, that's crucial for how we can actually change things. And this is where it gets really, really interesting. You see, when scientists hook people up to brain scanners, they see that the brain uses the exact same neural networks to remember the past as it does to imagine the future. I mean, thinking about your childhood bedroom and imagining your retirement party light up the same neurons. Neurologically, your brain treats the future like a memory that's just waiting to happen. So this idea that your future is kind of like a memory leads us to our next point. And to really get how your identity acts as a forecast, we can borrow a really powerful analogy from a totally different field, quantum physics. Now I know, that sounds super complex, but trust me, it makes this whole concept just click into place. See, in quantum mechanics, the future is never set in stone. It exists as this spread of possibilities. A tiny particle doesn't have one single predetermined path, it has a whole range of potential trajectories it could take. Your life? It's exactly the same. So let's just compare them side by side. A particle's path depends on its starting conditions and whatever outside forces are acting on it. Well, for you, your path depends on your history. Those are your starting conditions, and the force that's guiding you is your chosen identity. That identity is what collapses billions of possible futures down into the one you actually end up living. So here's the kicker. If you want to change your life's trajectory, it's not about gritting your teeth and using more willpower or sticking positive affirmations on your mirror. That's just trying to fight the bouncer. The real key is to get on the list. You have to update the underlying prediction your brain is making about who you are.
So, how on earth do we do that? Well, there's a technique from behavioral science called repatterning. You can think of it like a direct neurological upgrade to your brain's internal operating system.
So what is repatterning? It's a real, measurable neurological event. It's that moment when you create an imagined future that's so vivid, so detailed, that it neurologically overwrites the influence of your past. It becomes more real to your brain than some fuzzy old memory. Seriously, this isn't just wishful thinking. It is a targeted biological process. And the reason this works is because of this fascinating little quirk in our wiring. The fiction circuits in your brain, the parts that handle imagination, they don't really distinguish between what's physically real and what's just vividly simulated. They just respond to the pattern. So if you give your brain a powerful new pattern, it'll start to reorganize your behavior to match it. It's that simple. And the best part? This process is incredibly fast. When your nervous system sees a coherent, clear internal image, it updates, and it updates rapidly. We're not talking about months or years of work here. This can literally be a 5-minute event. That moment of intense clarity that feels life-altering? Yeah, that's because it literally is.
So, here's how it's done. First, you vividly imagine a future you. And I mean vividly. Don't just see some vague outline. See it through your own eyes. What are you wearing? Who's with you? What do you hear? Make it a full-on sensory experience. Second, you have to anchor that image with emotion. Don't just think about being confident, actually feel it in your body. Feel the calm settle into your shoulders. That emotional signature is what makes the new prediction stick. And third, you let this new state guide your very next actions. You don't have to change everything all at once. Just ask yourself, what's the very next tiny thing this version of me would do? Then you do that. You just let the new prediction win the next decision.
So, this brings us to the most powerful takeaway of all. You are not just a passive observer watching your life unfold. You are the one choosing the prediction, which means you are the one choosing the trajectory.
I want you to let this sink in for a second. You do not have one single predetermined future waiting for you.
Instead, you have thousands, millions, maybe even billions of possible futures. Every single one is attached to a different version of you that your brain could inhabit right now. The courageous you, the focused you, the calm you, they're all just potential neural patterns waiting to be activated.
And accessing any one of them isn't some huge monumental task. It all starts by making a single, decisive choice to update one prediction about who you are and what you're going to do next.
You know, in a way, just by listening to this, you've already started the process. You've introduced a new possibility to your brain. So the only thing left is to choose which possibility you want to amplify. The question isn't if your brain will make a prediction about your future, it's doing it right now as we speak. The real question is, what will your next prediction be?